Welcome back, ARMY, to your daily destination for the most exciting, emotional, and buzzworthy BTS coverage. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe because what happened at the group's latest appearance has every fan talking. The moment the members stepped back into the arena, something completely unexpected occurred with Jungkook, something so startling that staff had to intervene, and cameras recorded every second. Fans who saw it immediately panicked. And now, we're going to walk through the moment that changed everything. The atmosphere inside the venue shifted long before anyone understood why. The lights had only just dimmed when a ripple of anticipation moved across the crowd, as if ARMY could sense that something monumental was coming. And then, it happened. Taehyung made his first appearance on stage since his return. The instant he stepped into the spotlight, the arena exploded into cheers. But while everyone else reacted with joy, Jungkook's response wasn't what anyone expected. As cameras zoomed in on him, his hands seemed ready to lift in a wave, but he abruptly froze. His expression softened, not into happiness, but into something raw and unguarded. His face looked as if it had been struck by an emotion he couldn't control. A staff member noticed and quickly motioned for him to stay in place, yet Jungkook didn't react. He didn't move at all. Instead, he stared directly at Taehyung, eyes full of stories fans had long guessed at but never seen so clearly. Taehyung didn't notice him at first. He greeted the audience with his usual bright smile, soaking in the roar of support. But then he turned. And the moment his gaze landed on Jungkook, something flashed across his face, too quick for staff to block, but not quick enough to escape the camera. His eyes widened, his jaw tightened, and an unmistakable flicker of emotion passed between them. Jungkook took a single step toward him. That was enough to make staff panic. A stage director immediately spoke urgently into his headset while a floor manager gestured for Jungkook to return to formation. But Jungkook seemed unaware of all of it. It was as if the entire arena had gone quiet except for the sight of Taehyung approaching. The tension in the air was so heavy it almost felt physical. Fans later described it as a moment that didn't seem like part of a performance at all, too personal, too intense, too real. When Taehyung finally reached Jungkook's side, Jungkook broke their eye contact only long enough to look down and exhale, a soft, shaky breath that microphones captured clearly. Taehyung whispered something too quiet for cameras to pick up, and Jungkook's shoulders trembled. It was subtle, but unmistakable. This was enough to send staff scrambling to redirect camera angles. One cameraman even stepped forward to block the shot, but the fans had already seen it. Within minutes, the clip was everywhere online, replayed, slowed, zoomed in, dissected frame by frame. ARMY noticed everything, the tremble in Jungkook's breath, the tension in Taehyung's expression, the almost touch of their hands before staff redirected them. Even as the performance continued, Jungkook's behavior gave away his inner struggle. He glanced toward Taehyung repeatedly, his voice cracking slightly during one line, and whenever Taehyung moved closer in the choreography, Jungkook's breathing shifted, quickening for a split second before he forced himself back into the routine. Staff picked up on the tension from backstage too. Coordinators whispered urgently behind the LED panels, unsure whether they should intervene again or leave the situation alone. Whatever was unfolding between the two wasn't something they could choreograph or control. Taehyung, meanwhile, seemed outwardly composed. His smile looked natural enough, his vocals steady. But in the brief moments between lighting transitions, cracks formed in his expression. He would glance toward Jungkook with an expression that carried apology, regret, and longing all at once. And every time Jungkook noticed, he quickly looked away as if the emotions were too heavy to confront. Later online, fans claimed Jungkook murmured something to a backup dancer during a brief break in the dance, something like, "I didn't think it would hit this hard." Others speculated he whispered something even more vulnerable. But whatever was brewing, it reached a breaking point during one specific moment in the choreography. The two were supposed to cross paths, something routine, something they'd done dozens of times before. But tonight, Jungkook slowed down. Just slightly, barely noticeable, but enough for Taehyung to realize something was wrong. Their eyes locked, not in an accidental glance, but in a direct, charged moment that felt impossible to ignore. Taehyung's smile faded. Jungkook exhaled sharply. For a second, the entire atmosphere shifted. The audience became quiet. Staff froze. Lights flickered dramatically across their faces. Then Taehyung mouthed something, 3 silent words. Cameras caught the movement of his lips, but fans couldn't immediately decipher what he said. Jungkook's reaction, however, gave everything away. His expression trembled. He blinked rapidly. His jaw tightened. And he didn't smile again for the remainder of the performance. When the song ended, Jungkook left the stage faster than normal. A staff member tried to stop him, but he brushed past silently. Taehyung followed close behind, watching him disappear down the hallway with an expression filled with unspoken emotion. Backstage, tension filled the air. Jungkook leaned against the wall, breathing unevenly as he removed his in-ear monitors. He wasn't crying, but his eyes shimmered with the threat of tears. Staff lingered, unsure whether to intervene. Then Taehyung approached. "Jungkook, ah," he said softly. The sound made Jungkook's eyes close for a moment. "You didn't have to follow me," Jungkook whispered. "I did," Taehyung replied. "I couldn't leave you like that." Jungkook let out a breath that sounded like a laugh and a wound at the same time. "You left before." The words hit Taehyung visibly. He moved closer, speaking with a voice that wavered. "I know. And I regret it. But I'm here now." Jungkook looked at him from the corner of his eye. "Then why did it feel like you were ignoring me out there?" "Because I didn't trust myself," Taehyung admitted. "When I looked at you, everything felt overwhelming." Jungkook's voice cracked. "You think I wasn't overwhelmed?" Without touching him fully, Taehyung let his fingers graze Jungkook's sleeve. Jungkook didn't flinch. That alone changed the atmosphere. "Why did you say those words on stage?" Jungkook whispered. "Those 3 words." "Because they were true," Taehyung answered. "You shouldn't say things like that when cameras are everywhere." "I didn't care about the cameras," Taehyung replied. "I cared that you heard me." Jungkook looked away, struggling to breathe steadily. "I wasn't ready to see you today," he admitted. Taehyung stepped closer. "But you did. And now everything's resurfacing." Jungkook's silence answered every question Taehyung didn't dare ask. "Were you angry at me?" Taehyung whispered. Jungkook swallowed hard. "You were gone," he murmured. "And I didn't realize how much that would break me until tonight." Taehyung stepped close enough that their foreheads nearly touched. Staff held their breath. Jungkook didn't move away. Taehyung lifted his hand and touched Jungkook's cheek gently.